Time now to go back up to the ring. It's a welterweight fight, our next one on tap. Here again is Thomas Schreiber.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome to the ring, fighting tonight out of the red corner, Ryan McGrady.
Way into the ring is Ryan McGrady from Nova Scotia. Here's a good look at the two men on the weigh-ins. McGrady on the left. Junmar Emon on the right. McGrady 1-0 in his pro record. That was a unanimous decision over Daryl Perrin.
And now let's welcome to the ring, fighting tonight out of the blue corner, Junmar Emon.
There's a good look at Junmar Emon coming into the ring. Junmar Emon in the past has fought as a light middleweight. Now this one as a welterweight. It's got to be difficult moving up and down weight classes. Is it better just to pick one and go in that class, or you got to fight where the fights are?
In the developmental stages, as a professional, you've seen his last fight here. Nice little short. He fought a big, tall junior welterweight or super welterweight at 154. Just a tall, big guy. I think they're starting to realize right now with Junmar, it's a better fit if you try to fight at 147. He's a smaller, compact guy. You can see in his body composition even looks a little bit different. The muscles look leaner on Junmar. So it's interesting to see how he comes out tonight at this different weight, but I think he should be a stronger and tougher and more aggressive type of fighter being at this weight class.
I said earlier that that McGrady had fought Daryl Perrin. That was Emon that fought him. McGrady fought Marcel Mallet Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is being brought to you by United Boxing Promotions, along with their great sponsors, TransClean Protein and J. Cox Harley Davidson. The action continues with 4 rounds of boxing in the welterweight division, and our 3 judges are Martin Delita, William Boodhoo, and Jeremy Hayes. When the bell rings, our referee in charge, the 3rd man in the ring, will be Mark Simmons.
Okay, let's do it.
Introducing to you first, fighting tonight out of the red corner. He's wearing red trunks with black and white and weighed in at 143 3/4 pounds.
Switch again?
Coming to us from Truro, Nova Scotia. His record consists of 1 win and no
you hold your
losses.
hand like this.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ryan,
right there,
the Irish Warrior, McGrady.
That's the focus. Your zoom is right here.
And his opponent across the ring, fighting tonight out of the blue corner. He's wearing black trunks with red and silver and weighed in at 147.5 pounds. Hailing from Toronto, Ontario, his record consists of 1 win and no losses. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Junmar Emon.
We went over the instructions in the dressing room. I want a good, clean fight. When I say break, you step back, you stop punching, protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands at all times. All right, touch gloves. Good luck to the both of you.
Brian, I got to ask you right off the top, having a guy like Mark Simmons as the third man in the ring, he's been around boxing, he's been on both sides as a fighter and now as a referee. Will he call this a little differently, knowing what the fighters are going through?
I think he's going to be looking at it as a boxer referee the way he would want to be dictating a fight that he's type of in. You get what I'm saying? Understanding what it's like to be in there. He's going to let the guys working on the inside. He's going to let the guys step back and work. He's not going to be that guy that's going to give a guy a shot. And understanding also when certain guys get hit and maybe get hurt, he might pick up on that a lot faster than most referees.
We talk about Junmar Emon. He's used to giving up some height advantage, but not used to having a guy that might be able to match his power.
And it looks like right away, Junmar right freaking got a right hand right over the top of McGrady's left hand.
Yep.
And he's bleeding right away.
McGrady went from a mouse to a cut over the left eye, and Junmar jumps right on. You know he's going to try to take advantage of this one.
The one thing Junmar has to be is be patient when he's trying to get in on those shots. He doesn't want to be over anxious and see the blood and go shark swimming right after it. Be patient, because the fighter also knows he's got to protect that good 1-2 combination over the top from Junmar. Lead left hook right there. It looks like Junmar's arse is starting downstairs and opening up that cut and getting that blood running a little bit more on McGrady.
This one's
nice right hand over the top again from Junmar.
This one's scheduled for 4 rounds, 4 3-minute rounds. McGrady, he's 1-0 in his career. A split decision over 4 rounds. Coming over Millett Jr. That blood is now moving into the eye of McGrady, and that's going to make it difficult in this early going for him to see the right hands coming from Junmar.
And it's super early for this cut to even open up, and a lot of time left in the round to get that blood keep running down. And it looks like it's starting to interfere in the eye that he's missing and not seeing even certain shots on the other side getting through. Being cut, and this being his second professional fight, he's probably his first time experiencing something like this. So it also looks like it could be a bother for McGrady.
McGrady trying to keep Junmar at bay.
Good left hook to the body from Junmar. And I think that's where Junmar has to start focusing. Working downstairs where he starts thinking about something else outside of the cut and then get back up top.
Because he knows that cut will be there if it goes 3 rounds or 4 rounds.
You can see he's trying to keep that left hand just a little bit higher and tighter, but Junmar is getting through.
He sure is. Junmar connects. He's got that quick left-hand jab that it's finding its way through the gloves of Ryan McGrady.
Oh, a nice right hand. Lead right hand over the top there from Junmar.
Junmar Emon has opened up a big gash over the left eye of Ryan McGrady. Here in the first round, McGrady, though, trying to stem the tide and head it back the other way.
He's trying to hustle back and let him know, let Junmar know that I'm in your hometown, but us boys in Toro, we know to get down. Bleeding or not, I'm here to fight.
Emon trying to work his way out of the corner, and that does it for the first round.
And a good first round and a good little ending of the first round from McGrady to let him know that you might have got me, you might have won this first round, but I'm going to maintain contention a little bit. Don't think the blood's in my eye and it's starting to bother me a little bit. I'm going to maintain with you. And just try to see how he picks up the pace going onwards throughout the fight with that cut.
You can see the cut was affecting McGrady a bit early in that round, but then he was able to put it behind and started to take the fight right at the end of Emon. The test now will be up to the corner to get that bleeding under control so McGrady can come out, see his opponent, and see what he can do here in round number 2. But round 1 was all Emon.
Yeah, and you talk about McGrady dealing with that blood for probably the first time in his pro career. He's had, some amateur fights before this, but how's that going to affect him the first time seeing his chest covered in blood when he heads back to the stool for the end of the first round?
It's a thing where it has to be, you have to set in. This is boxing right now. I'm in the big show right now. I never probably ever cut like this as an amateur before, but I have to. This is what it's about right now. I got to show this guy in his hometown that I'm here to fight, and I can't let this blood get in the way of what I'm trying to do.
Emon backs to the ropes.
And you can see it right now. McGrady's coming right at him and letting him know I'm here to fight. Forget about this blood. And you can see his corner probably also let him know you got to start picking it up a little bit. And Junmar is also stepping up the pace at the same time.
Yeah, right about to say that. Junmar Emon countering that real quick attack coming from McGrady.
And looking at Junmar's right eye, it looks like he might have got a little cut right there. And the thing with Junmar, what I would expect just a little bit more, is a little more boxing movement instead of just trying to stay in the pocket a little bit. He can box his way inside because he's very good at setting the tone and getting through like what he's doing right now, instead of trying to stay right there and let this guy get back in the exchange.
One of the things that Emon has to be aware of is it's always nice to cut your opponent and make it difficult for him, but don't get so caught up in that it takes you off your game for the rest of the fight.
And it looks like Junmar does have a little nib on his right eye. It's not a big cut, but at the same time, nice right hand, lead right hand over the top, right on that cut of McGrady.
Junmar doing a great job of countering with McGrady, but McGrady takes a step forward and lands a right of his own. Emon.
Nice right hand over the top, lead right hand, where he's not seeing that on the cut, and Junmar just missed with another right hand again.
And he's not winding up with that right hand. It's a nice short pull, and he lets the throw go and is able to connect on that right again as Emon connects with the right. You see McGrady trying to wipe the blood away from streaming into the vision area of his eye.
Ryan McGrady, also a game opponent, stepping back in and throwing back another good 5-punch combination on Junmar, finishing with that left hook. And Junmar coming back with that big right hand. And then McGrady coming back, finishing with another 3-punch combination.
You gotta like the way both these fighters are going at it. Junmar trying to go down low and set up McGrady to come back up top. McGrady steps back to the middle, throws a couple of left jabs and a right, and Junmar with the uppercut. Junmar starting to go with the left. McGrady follows up. McGrady pushes his way and makes Junmar back to the ropes.
And Junmar just trying to get back in with that nice right hand again and just stepping back and getting through with that right hand. As he steps away, you see that blood trickling down a little bit faster on McGrady right now. Looks like it could have opened up a little bit more.
Well, Junmar Emon knows he's got his opponent cut. He knows that he can work on that cut throughout the next 3 rounds. And in that second round, that right hand, he used Ryan perfectly. That right hand connecting on that left eye. Bang, over and over and over.
Let's check out the replay right here. You see him setting up with that jab. Bam, with that right hand right over the top. Just grazing, nothing hard, but just doing enough to open up that cut a little bit more. You see it right here. My man Doug just showed us on our walkout sheet that there's blood spraying all over the place.
We got Ryan McGrady's blood all over our table. And that is Junmar Emon doing the damage on Ryan McGrady. But you know what? Cut and all, Ryan McGrady is showing his stuff. He did not back down an inch.
Junmar better be careful, because I'm wearing this the only shirt I brought tonight.
You wore white, man. You know. Note to self, wear a red tie next time.
There's a nice right hand from the beginning of the round.
Emon and McGrady.
A short little right hand over the top on the inside there from Junmar.
McGrady bounces back, getting it back to the middle of the ring. Junmar tries to attack once again. Throws the left and misses on that big right, but catches him the second time around. Emon with the head down. McGrady goes for the uppercut, just grazing the top of Junmar Emon's head. And you know Junmar's just loading up that overhand right now.
And you hear Junmar even listening to his corner, talking to them right now. Catching that second win off of big shots, loading up some big shots and backing up. McGrady.
Backpedaling and
nice right hand again. And just setting that tone with that right hand that it seems like McGrady's not seeing it come anymore. And you're hearing some of the people in the audience right now letting him know, work to the body and finish back upstairs. But I think Junmar also feeling ultra confident that he could get through with that right hand all the time.
The nick you talked about in the second round on Junmar is very small, but it is there. And we'll see if that's able to open up from McGrady as this fight goes on. Junmar, you're right. He's connecting with that right over the top at will right now. Junmar backpedals him up to the ropes. McGrady.
Oh, a nice big right hand. That looked like it could have rocked
It sure
McGrady.
did.
But McGrady coming back with that left hook. It
Junmar's
looked like it
cut
opened up
open.
a cut right in the middle of his forehead
sure
with that
is.
big left hook.
That's the one you were talking about, right down the middle of Junmar Emon's face. The blood on both fighters now starting to flow. Emon right on the bridge of the nose, and that's gonna roll right down both sides of his cheeks.
And you hear Junmar just trying to pump himself up. And the blood just spewing down the middle of Junmar's face right now. And giving McGrady second chance to get back into the fight.
Oh, Junmar's trying to get the crowd going, saying, come on, brother, let's get it on. Big combination. Junmar Emon throws a couple of big rights and a left connecting on McGrady.
And McGrady come back with that nice little short uppercut. One thing I gotta say, Junmar being the busier guy and showing a little tenacity, get back into the fight. But at the same time, you see McGrady coming back with little short little uppercuts and getting involved and saying, I got you cut. You got two. He got one cut on me. I got two on you.
They're going to finish off this round as bloodied and battered, both fighters putting on a show here at the Hershey Center through 3 rounds.
You see, let's check out the replay right here. Getting into that right hand. And it could have been that left hook right there. There's that big right hand there that Junmar came back with over the top. But I think it could have been that left hook on the inside exchange that could have got Junmar cut up in the middle of his forehead. And the blood is spewing all over the place right now. It's on my paper right now.
So far, I've escaped. I did push my chair back there. That's a nasty cut, though, on Junmar Emon. I was going to say, the blood catches the judge's attention, so it was going to be tough for McGrady to get the judge's attention to score a round, but then he certainly connected with Emon there. But I still have Emon up 3 rounds to none.
Yeah, the one thing where I take my hat off to McGrady a little bit, because as he saw the blood start trickling down Junmar's face, you see Junmar going right at him right away, thinking the fight could be a lot closer than it is. But at the same time, we don't know what the judges are seeing, thinking the blood might be the factor of the fight.
Like our boxing insider, Roger Wardell, I have it a little bit closer at 2 rounds to 1 for Emon, but I tell you something, both fighters are certainly going. And that's the 4th and final round.
And some big shots in this 4th and final round where these guys are trying to make their impression felt and close the show. You see Junmar getting through these big shots all over, trying to get to the body, finish back upstairs, and stepping in with that right hand.
Junmar Emon
And again,
certainly active in this 4th round, connecting with some body shots, and that's going to prove a point as he goes back upstairs with that right hand yet again.
Nice double left hook downstairs and upstairs for McGrady.
Emon backpedaling. McGrady throws the uppercut and just missed the tip of the nose of Emon. McGrady, the taller fighter, just able to stem him off by pushing down a little bit. Emon backs out of it and now comes full force back into McGrady at the center of the ring.
Nice left hook right hand combination from Junmar. And I think that's what he's got to do. He's just got to use that boxing movement that I know he has, stepping in and stepping out and working on angles instead of staying right in front of this guy, McGrady. Because McGrady, even though he's not getting through with a bunch of shots like Junmar is, he's still hitting him back.
McGrady trying to come back into the middle, has to cover up as Emon is looking to unload that big right. You just see him turning the